How you doing? And welcome to Neither L Music. I'm Ed. This is one major method, my weekly series dedicated to the beginner guitar player. We had been taking a look at basic strumming in our previous video. So in this video, we're going to continue that idea, but we're going to do some exercises that include the fourth beat, which is the beat that I didn't add in the previous video. Some of these exercises will be more difficult. They provide a lot less time for you to change the chord. This is going to take some time to get used to, because with very little time to move your chords, you're going to have to think about what chord is coming up before you get to the end of the beat so you can prep your hands. If you find this difficult, go back to the first lesson and continue working those out. It'll just help you in the long run. For these exercises, there's going to be 4 measures for each exercise, and I'm going to use the chords G, D, and A minor, and back to G. So if you play this continuously, you should play the G chord 2 times in a row, on measure 4, and then again on measure 1. So let's take a look at our first example. I'll play it for you, and then like I did in the previous videos, I'll play it for 12 measures so you have something to follow along with. Our first example is going to seem relatively easy to do, but because there is a beat 4, it's going to be deceptively more difficult than you think it's going to be. We're going to play nothing but a whole note, which means that the chord needs to ring throughout the entire measure. This provides a difficulty when you're going to change from beat 4 to beat 1. If you have to start changing early in beat 4, just go ahead and do it. It doesn't need to ring to the point where it blends into the next measure. Unfortunately, we're not a string section in an orchestra, or piano for that matter, so we can't wait till the last second to change. Let's take a look at this whole note example. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. Some of you may play a G this way. Some of you may play a G this way. Some of you may play it this way. I don't care which version of G you play. You can play it as a bar chord for all I care. As long as the pattern changes properly and you're there on the next chord at the right time. So do what feels most comfortable in your playing. Let's take a look at this for 12 measures so you could follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D, A minor, G, G, D, A minor, G, G, D, A minor, G. As you go through these sequences in open position, you'll notice that the strings that you use sometimes don't have fingers on them. As you get better at playing your chords, those strings will ring through to the next chord that you play. So this is great for connecting chords together or making them sound like they are connected together. This is why you shouldn't have too much anxiety when you're playing your chords and worrying about how quickly you can change from one to another. Because in open, if there's an open string ringing, it's helping connect 2 sections together. Now we're going to look at half notes. Half notes, very similar to a whole note, provide us with little to no time from changing from beat 4 to beat 1. You will be strumming on beat 1, and then you're going to play the exact same chord again on beat 3, but they're going to ring and connect together rather than going from one measure to another. I'll show you an example, and then we'll play 12 measures so you can follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G, D, D, A minor, G, G. As you can see with the G chord, the two middle strings are open, so they continuously ring from the G to the D. When I play the D chord, the D string is open, and that will ring from the D to the A minor. From there, the A string is open, and that will ring from the A minor back to G. So let those strings ring as best as possible. They'll connect everything together. Now let's look at 12 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G, D, D, A minor, G, 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 D, A minor, G, 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 D, D, A minor, G, G. So take your time, let the pieces that are supposed to ring connect everything together. Now let's take a look at something that I mentioned in the first video, the quarter note strum. This one is really easy to follow along with. You're just strumming on every beat. With the inclusion of beat 4, we have very little time to change from beat 4 to 1. So remember what the next chord is going to be and don't wait till the last second. Let's take a look at an example of this, just to review it. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 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 D, A minor, G. As you can see, that strum pattern is pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at it for 12 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D, A minor, G, G, D, A minor, G, G, D, A minor, G. That one shouldn't be unfamiliar. We talked about it first when I was introducing the idea of strumming to begin with. Take your time with these first 3 styles of strumming. They are difficult in their own right, even though you're playing a simple chord and a simple strum. The whole note needs to ring for the entire measure. So does the half note, and the quarter note needs to sound like it connects from beat 4 to beat 1 with very little silence in between them. So take your time with these. If you try to rush through them, the coming exercises are going to be more difficult. If you enjoy content like this, please consider subscribing. I'd really like to grow this channel. so every subscription helps tremendously. Ring the little bell for notifications so you know when your next lesson is coming up. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. I like compliments, but I would prefer to answer your questions if something is confusing. Good luck and good practice.